Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is April 25th, 2026. We're almost done with the month of April. Where does the time go? It boggles my mind. We are going to be wrapping up our Mother's Day series today. So I hope you will join me, and the front of this card is very simple, very elegant. The part of this card that is a surprise is the inside. It is a pop-up explosion card. So, looks like a normal card, but that it is not. As people are scrolling through the Facebook world and trying to find me and jumping on, I'm going to go over some housekeeping stuff that I go over every video, so bear with me just a moment. Stampin' Up! Does offer 3 levels of creativity. I think this is very important to go over each video because we have something for everyone. If you want to learn how to craft, we have something for you with our step-by-step instruction kits. If you are someone who has crafted before but doesn't have a lot of supplies, doesn't want a lot of supplies, then we have our level 2, which are the quick and easy options, the mix and match section. I did a video on that using the ephemera packs in my spring series, so I don't know, maybe month and a half ago. We made several cards. I want to say maybe 10 cards in a matter of 40 minutes. So they go together very quickly. And then, of course, we have our level 3, creativity your own way. Anything goes. You just find some paper that you love or a stamp set that you love, and you just go wild, go crazy. Just do whatever floats your boat. So on the level 1, the step-by-step instructions, you can find these at stampinup.com. They come out with at least 2, sometimes 3 kits every month. They are in the brown box. They are all inclusive, which means you have your ink, your stamp, your embellishments, your cardstock. You can literally take this box to camping or on a kids practice or anything and just put it together. This is all you need, is this box. It's got everything. These are normally cards. Sometimes they're home decor. But we also offer scrapbooking kits. They're called scrapbook workshops. This is an old one that I just still have in my stash. But you make 3 2-page layouts, so a total of 6 pages. It has everything in here that you need except for your adhesive. So you will need your adhesive, you will need a paper trimmer, just kind of your basics. But the kits for the cards, everything comes in it. So another kit that we offer is the paper pumpkin kit. These are the monthly subscription kits, so you do have to subscribe and become a member. You can start them and stop them. You don't have to get one every month. If you don't like a particular month, then you just stop it. And then you'll get the next month. If you don't like that one, you have to stop it. So it reinstates itself. So you just have to remember to stop it before it gets mailed out if you don't want it. This is the lovely Lakeside Retreat kit that we just got. This makes 9 cards, 3 of each design. There are 3 different designs. These are going to be fabulous for Father's Day. So I am waiting until the month of May when I start my Father's Day series to put this paper pumpkin kit together for you guys. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to this one. Speaking of our paper pumpkins, we never know exactly what's going to be in the kit. We only get sneak peeks. So the sneak peeks for the next 2 months are, this one is for the month of April. You have to subscribe by April 11th. So it has this beautiful die of a window that looks like it opens and closes. this beautiful ombre night sky. There is a add-on die to this quarter of paper pumpkins, and the one for May is fireworks. So that is going to be really cool to use. If you are a paper pumpkin subscriber and you haven't gotten the add-on, I would suggest these dies, because this is the one that goes with the lakeside, the one I just opened, and it makes a beautiful sign. You could use this sign on so many things, especially if you're a scrapbooker. It's item 168665 and it's $13. Again, this is the one that coordinates with the May, and then the June is the butterflies and the flowers, and the actually the word wonderful I think coordinates with the lakeside one too, this month of April. So then the one after that is going to be Bikes and Blooms. You have to be subscribed by May 11th. And this one shows a sneak peek of a Have a Lovely Day sentiment, some silver foil embellishments, of course a bike, some flowers. We have some wonderful bicycle paper in the Waterside Retreat bundle. That's going to be available May 5th. So I think that's all going to play very nicely together. So those are the little sneak peeks. Every month Stampin' Up! Offers a product of the month. This is an item that you can get for $5. If you spend $75 or more, you just add it to your order. We've had paper, we've had stamps. This month, for the month of April, is a die, a huge die. It's called Eyelet Blooms die. Has a lot of dimension to it. Because this is a very detailed die, a lot of people have had hard times using it. My tip would be to run it through normal, through it, come back, go backwards. So run it through, run it back through, backing it back up to you. Then take it and flip it over to where the die is upside down, run it through, and run it back. So you're running it through 4 times, a total of 2 on the back side and 2 on the front side. And that should get that die really loosened up for you. It shouldn't come out with a problem at all. You will need your take your pick tool with the little brush end on it to get all the little bits and pieces out. And speaking of kits, the best way to take your pick tool with the brush end is to put it inside your kit box. Put your little mat in there, run it through, and all your little bits and pieces fall into your box for you to throw away. You don't have all these little pieces just flinging out and flying everywhere all over your desk. So there's a little nice little tip and trick for you. So that's it for the product of the month. You have just basically a week left. So if this is something you're wanting, make sure you're putting in that order. Also, Stampin' Up! Offers a lot more than just paper crafting supplies. They do offer virtual classes, virtual retreats. We do scrapbooking and card making. So currently the one that they're offering is a scrapbooking. Bless me, excuse me. My allergies are going crazy with this weather. They are offering a virtual scrapbooking album retreat. It creates 10 pages, 10 layouts, 2-page layouts, so a total of 20 pages. It is over a 3-day period, April 29th through May 1st, so that'll start this coming Wednesday. If you are wanting these items, you probably need to order it today and expedite it. So you're running out of time. But it's from 2 to 9 Mountain Time. It is $250. It is while supplies last. I haven't looked. Hopefully there are still supplies. But if you can't do those 3 days in person, then you can go back to the private Facebook group that they've created for you and watch that anytime and scrapbook at your own speed. So, speaking of, we're running out of time. You guys, we've been waiting for this, it seems like forever, and now the time is upon us, and I can't even believe it, but you have until May 4th to order anything out of this catalog or this catalog. These two catalogs are retiring. Some of the items have already moved to the last chance list. Some of them have already sold out. So if there's something that's been on your want list and you haven't gotten it yet, run, don't walk to stampinup.com and get what you need. Hopefully it will still be there. I've been talking about it for the last month. I don't know what else to tell you guys if you haven't gotten it yet. You've been sleeping on the job. So we still have our March online exclusives. There were a lot of products, a lot of bundles because of the dies that were sold out. They should be available this coming week, the week of April 27th. We were told that they would come back in stock. So if you're waiting on any of those, the Cutest Crew, Stamping Smiles, Scalloped Wishes, there was a ton of them. Make sure you're checking stampinup.com daily to see if those are coming in. A sneak peek for the May online exclusives. These will be available May 5th. Winnie the Pooh. If you love Winnie the Pooh, then this mega bundle suite is for you. Comes with 2 stamps, 2 dies, an embossing folder, beautiful paper, and let me tell you, the stamp sets, one of them is of the Winnie the Pooh characters, and then the dies are to cut out the Winnie the Pooh characters. The other stamp and die bundle, though, is a wonderful label set with some wonderful sentiments that really don't have anything to do, I mean, they do, but you can use them on multiple of cards. Like this one says, the best kind of days are the days spent together. There is one that says, oh bother, of course, because Winnie the Pooh said it all the time, but a lot of those sentiments can be used. I will love you until forever. I mean, they are very versatile, so don't just think that if you don't love Winnie the Pooh that you can't get any of it. So, dun da da dum. Stampin' Up! May 5th. New catalog. You guys, I didn't do any of the technology stuff. Am I even live? Oh, how funny. Okay, hold on just a second. I got in here, got to rolling, and didn't even check. That could have been, I could have been sitting in here talking an hour to myself. Hold on. I see myself. Let me turn on live chat. Let me turn on the volume. To myself. Okay, you can hear me. I'm straight. Woo! I dodged a bullet on that one. Goodness gracious. Where's my mind? Okay. New catalog, May 5th. It's right around the corner, guys. Are you ready? There's a lot of neat, cool products in this catalog. I cannot open it up and show it to you yet until it goes live May 5th. There's the sneak peek of the back. Shows you a couple of new goodies, new in colors. We've been talking about the in colors. There's the front. So, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. My paper's going everywhere. Okay. Probably not even straight anymore. Okay. Last thing is my May card class. You have until April 30th, this coming Thursday, to let me know if you're interested in coming, if you are here local. It's $15. You can pay $15, make the 3 cards, be out the door. Or if you want to buy product, then you just need to place an order with me as your demonstrator, at least $15 minimum, and you can get the class for free. So a couple of different ways to pay for your class, but my card class is May 16th. It is the weekend between Mother's Day weekend and Memorial Day weekend. So right smack dab in the middle. It's from 1 to 4. And we're going to be making these 3 cards. This one is a little bridge card, and it uses the Waterside Retreat paper and the Pier stamp. What is the name of that stamp set? I cannot remember. Just trying to find it. I must have it somewhere, but it is already out of stock. So we're also using the Barbecue Master stamp and die, along with the Nature's Walk paper. So this is just kind of a cute little fun fold. The card opens up this way. So, and then it can stand up like this. So, couple of cool fun folds using new product. This is, again, Nature Walk paper, but the Nature Symphony, I think is the name of it, bundle. So, those are the 3 cards we're making. Again, if you're local, let me know. It's $15. If you're ever interested in getting put on my email list, just let me know as well. I can put you on that so that you know all the new stuff that's going on, all the new classes I'm offering. Let's get started on today's card. So again, it looks like a normal card, but it is a kind of a fun fold on the inside. It's called an Explosion pop-up card. And I'm just trying to grab my materials over here. This card is pretty easy to put together. So it uses the Lovely and Beautiful paper. This was out of stock for a little while, but it's back in stock, so get it while you can. I've used a lot of it, so I don't have a lot of it left. But here is side 1, side 2 of page 1. Here's the second paper. There's the front and the back. Front and back. Front and back. This does have a gold foiling on it. Front and back, back and front. Bear with me just a second. There's somebody at the door. I'll be right back. Sorry. Take a 5-minute break. Okay, I apologize. Goodness. Didn't want the dog to go crazy. Okay, I am back. So let's get to this card. All right. We're going to start out with a piece of Calypso Coral. I love the colors in this paper. Let me read that off to you. It is Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Fresh Freesia, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, and Gold. So, a great pack of paper and very beautiful for any feminine Mother's Day friend card, whatever you need. So, I'll grab my trimmer. I'm going to put this card to the side. I have all my little pieces cut pretty much. This card goes together pretty fast. Like always, it is a half a sheet of cardstock. So we are going to score this at 4 1/4. And then we're going to cut in half at the 5 1/2. So again, most of your cards, you can get 2 cards from a piece of 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. Grab your bone folder. And we're going to fold this on the score line and burnish it. That way it folds really good. Okay. Then we need just a scratch piece of paper. We're going to use our perennial postage dies. This is a great set of dies, and they stayed, so they did not go on the last chance list. But we're going to use the second to biggest and cut out. So let me bring in the Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine. This is a great die cut machine if you do not own one already, if you're looking for one. We'll lay that down and run it through. I think that is all we actually need our cut and emboss machine for today. Last week's card was all dies. So we'll take a small little break from the die cut machine. Okay. We also need a piece of the paper. This is a 4 by 5 1/4. So just a quarter shorter on each side than what this is. This measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so this is 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to layer this on top. I know we're going to cover up the gold foiling side, which when you have such pretty paper, it's kind of hard to do, but you know, decisions, because I also love this petal pink on top of this Calypso Coral. I think these 2 colors coordinate beautifully with each other. If you were doing ink blending and some floral colors, I think these 2 colors would play very nicely and complement each other for sure. So you're going to put that on there as straight as possible, getting a equal size border all the way around. And then we're going to bring in the perennial postage die that you die cut. This card goes together pretty fast, pretty easy. Even the inside, the explosion part, is not very hard. If you guys are popping on and joining me, don't forget to say hi. If you don't say hi, I don't know that you're here and watching. Let me know where you're from. let me know what your favorite in color is, or just say hi. Completely up to you. The next piece we have is our gold paper. Now I'm going to show you a little cheat on this. Our gold paper, our silver paper, any of our metallic paper is very special. It is expensive, so I try to hoard every bit of it as possible. This measures 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, and it's going to layer right here. But since we're covering up the majority of this gold, I don't want to waste all this middle part of the gold that's not going to be seen. So I'm going to show you a little tip and trick. We call this gutting. What you want to do is take your other piece that's going to layer on top of here. This again is the actual flip side of this petal pink that we used here on the bottom. So that's what's on the back. So the front of this is this beautiful piece right here. This measures 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And we're going to put that on here and see how much of a border that gives us around each edge. So I'm going to say that's giving us about a 1/4 of an inch, it looks like. Just a little bit less. So if we come in here with our paper trimmer, this is one of the nice things I love about our paper trimmer, is if we put our, I'm actually going to use it on this side just because I can hold on to my paper better. So here's the 4th mark on this side of the trimmer to the right. And if I come down, let me stand up over this so that I can see what I'm doing. You kind of need a eagle vision of this. If I at least allow more than a 1/4, so you're only going to see a 1/4 of this. So I want to come in farther than a 1/4. So actually, there's your 4th line. I'm going to go over that just a tad. I want to make sure I'm at least allowing a 1/4. So anything over a 1/4, you should be good. And we're going to come down here. We're going to make a score. And again, we're going to leave at least a 1/4. And we're going to do this all the way around. And you don't have to if you don't want to, but this is just an easy way to save yourself some paper. And I may have gone over too far. Hopefully not. Yeah, it looks like I went over too far right there, but that's okay. You get my point. But you're just going to connect those lines and then take your scissors. Let me grab my scissors. They're on the other side of the room. And then we're just going to cut this and that way you still have this piece of gold that you can use on anything for flowers or whatever you need. Because again, we're only going to be seeing the border of this gold piece. So I'm going to bring in my little silicone sheet just in case I go off the edge. I don't want to be getting adhesive all over my grid paper. So I'm going to take my adhesive and go around the border, being very careful not to tear it. And like I said, we went over a little too far on this edge, but that's okay because I can hide it down here under my sentiment. So no one will ever know. We're going to put this on our perennial postage die that we cut out in the Calypso Coral. Again, leaving a equal size border all the way around, or at least trying to. It is homemade. It does not have to be perfect, but we would like it to be eye-pleasing, that's for sure. Okay, and then I'm just going to turn my paper this way instead of this way, because I'm going to keep in mind what I'm covering up. So my sentiment is going to go over here, and there's not a lot over here. So let's put that side underneath the sentiment to the bottom left. And we're just going to come in here and actually, hold on a moment. Let me back up the cart because I have forgotten to put some ribbon on here. I always do that. We're going to be using the metallic gold striped ribbon. This goes beautifully with this pack of paper. And the easiest way to do this, well, first of all, the easiest way to do it is to put the ribbon on before you put down your cardstock. But you know, I get so excited and way ahead of myself. But the easiest way to do this is to take a glue dot and put it on each end. Since I already have adhesive here, I'm not gonna worry about a glue dot. But we're just gonna take this and put it towards the bottom third. Grab my ribbon scissors. And now I can add some more adhesive here and put this back down on my paper. And I've had so many people ask me what this tool is because I use it all the time to pry up stuff. This actually goes to my Cricut machine. So it's just the little spatula that comes with it. But anything that's really thin, you have on your Take Your Pick tool. Where is my Take Your Pick tool? This tool right here, you actually have a little spatula right here on this end where your scoring blade is. So if you don't have a little spatula, the Take Your Pick tool is a great tool to get. Okay. So now let me make sure I've got my card faced the right way. We're gonna put this back on here, try to even it up again. I can't ever do anything right the first time. And if you get any adhesive where you don't want it, an adhesive eraser is a great tool to have. We used to sell these, we don't anymore, but I have found them at the Dollar Tree. So there we go. So this is almost pretty much our front of our card. I do have one other die cut, and that is using, this is the old Framelits label collection, but there is a collection, I think it went to the last chance list, but it came out with the Lovely and Beautiful Suite. I think it's called something Beautiful Dies. But they look pretty similar to this. I did not buy them because I already had these in my stash. And I thought I don't need two things that are similar. But I'm going to use this small one right here. And I'm going to get just a scratch piece of the Petal Pink. I've got it right here if I can just pick it up from my desk. And again, I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine. I have cut many, many labels out of this, as you can see. We used this pack of paper and these dies for my Mother's Day class, card class that we just had in April. So there's that. And then I am going to grab my, I am just everywhere. My paper's everywhere. I'm everywhere. So sorry. Oh goodness. It's going to be one of those days. I can already tell. I'm reaching for my Calypso Coral, so across the desk. I apologize. Ink. And I'm using the Happy Mother's Day from Daffodil Daydream. Again, shopping my stash. Don't forget to use your old stamps and dies. Make them worthwhile, make them last. They're a good investment. They are great products. So don't just use them once and put them away. I always pull stuff out of my stash. Okay, I'm going to use my grid paper and line that up. I'm going to grab a block here. And I'm going to go tap, tap, tap. Looks pretty good. Use my grid paper to line that up. And then I'm going to eyeball it, hope for the best. Looks good. Okay, I'm going to take some dimensionals. Put one on the top, one on the bottom. Oh, I almost forgot. You guys, I am so all over the place. Look what I did. I'm going to slip my little paper in here. Here I thought I was together and going to make today's Facebook Live go smoothly, and apparently I just can't do anything right. I'm going to try to line this up. There we go. I'm glad I noticed that before I put on my sentiment here. So I'm going to come over here and put my sentiment right here. That looks pretty good. And then I have already tied a bow and put a little pop dot on there. So we're going to just kind of lay that over to the side, push that down. I'm going to come in here with my ribbon cutters, little ribbon scissors, and make my tails even. Okay, so there's the outside of our card. Have I lost anybody? Are you guys following me? Let's see. I also need to add, before I forget, since we're almost done with the outside of our card, let me go ahead and add the embellishments. This is using the Pearls of Beauty. It's got this crumb cake, this Calypso Coral, and some white. I love this. Any three of these colors would go with this card. So you take your pick. But I'm going to, let's see if I can, I'm going to take the crumb cake here and put this, I was trying to think of where I want this one. I think I'll just stick it there though. And then I'll take another big one and put a big one down here and another small one and take it right there. Okay. The eye likes a triangle. It likes a grouping of 3. So I've made my little triangle there. Now let's get to the fun part of the card. Let's get to this inside. Now there are a couple of ways that you can do this. The instructions that I saw used a 6x6 piece of paper. That didn't give me a lot of wiggle room, so I actually changed the dimensions for myself on this white piece of paper. I was going to see if I could try to keep this. I don't know if it's going to stay open for you guys. Let me see if I can put a block here. There we go. So I changed my dimensions up. I did a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 instead of a 6x6. So you're going to need a piece of basic white. And my trimmer. And we're going to cut a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. This is where all the action happens for this card. So 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then we're going to score this in half. So what is half of 5 3/4? It's 2 7/8. So 2 7/8. Sorry about the 8s, but sometimes you just have to use the 8s and the 16ths. And then we're going to turn it around and do another half, so 2 7/8. So all you've done is made a little square with 4 little squares inside. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to take and we're going to put a score mark from one corner to the other corner. And the way you do this is just by putting your little point up in the track. So I've got my point up here in the track and I've got my point down here in the track. And you guys can't see because I'm off screen. Hopefully that's better. And again, you're going to score, not cut. So move that cutting blade out of the way and score. So we're kind of left with this as far as your score marks go. Hopefully that shows up. I know on white is really hard to see. And if I can find my bone folder, once again, that I have hid from, there it is. I've hid it for myself. I do that all the time. All we're going to do is take our paper and fold and burnish on those score lines. Remember, if you're popping in, I don't know that you're here unless you say hi. So make sure you say hi. And if you're not catching me live, if you're watching the replay, just comment replay over there in the comments. And I'll know that you stopped by that way too. Okay, so we've taken our paper and we've folded all of the score lines. Now we're gonna fold and burnish the other way. We want to get this really good and flexible. We're just breaking down those paper fibers so that we can manipulate our cardstock. Okay, so we've got it where it folds all this way, and if we turned it over, we have it where it folds all this way. So I think we're good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the two squares that have the score line in the middle, and we're going to fold those up to each other like a Pac-Man. Do you guys see the little... It's my Pac-Man. Chomp, 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 chomp. All right, a little bit of origami in today's class. Okay, so before we go any further, let's stamp over here our sentiment. Again, I pulled something out from my stash. This is In Your Words. It's old, but I love this. Hope your day is fantabulistic. Fabulous and fantastic all in one. And I love that saying. So I've already got it on a block. And I think before I do that, let's do these. I've got some little flowers on this piece in the background because I just kind of wanted it to mimic the pattern paper. And so I pulled out an old stamp set called Happiness Abounds, and I'm going to use this big flower right here. So again, just use what you have on hand. I am going to reach across my desk again and grab the petal pink for this part and some scratch paper. I always keep extra scratch paper on my desk so that I can stamp off. So I'm going to put a piece there. I'm going to put a piece here. And then I'm just going to go tap, tap, tap in my ink pad. Again, this is Petal Pink. It's one of the colors in this pack of paper. Trying to see. And you just do what floats your boat. Want to get one more little bit over here. And one little bit up here on the top. And again, it's not overlapping, but it's just adding a little bit of border around that just to make it pretty. Close up my ink pad. And let's do our saying. Now we do need to remember this is going to be on a diagonal like this. So make sure when you're stamping it that you're stamping it the right way. I'm just lining this up with my grid paper. And again, I'm going to go probably off the camera, so I apologize. But tap, tap, tap. Make sure I am right side up. That would be disastrous. And I'm just going to eyeball the center, push it down, hold it for a couple of seconds, and we're good. All right. So now what we can do is I've just taken, because this is a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 and we scored it at 2 7/8. These squares are 2 7/8. So you need 3 pieces of DSP that coordinate. that are 2 3/4. Now this one we're gonna leave alone. We're gonna leave it and use it as is. So I'm gonna put adhesive around all the edges. And I want it to go right here in my other little opened square. Now again, we're going to try to get it straight as possible. And these two, you can tell there's a score line up the middle. That means I need to cut these in half. The way you do that is, again, just take your trimmer and you're going to put a point in each side of your little trimmer, and then cut that in half. So there's one. And again, these little squares measure 2 3/4. It's just a 1/8 of an inch, or excuse me, a 1/16 of an inch smaller than our little square. So it doesn't give us much of a border. Hopefully that makes sense. Now before I go any further, let me tell you again, I told you that the card that I had seen done used a 6x6, and you can do a 6x6. If you do a 6x6, then again you score it in half, which is going to be at the 3-inch mark. So you're going to score it here and score it here at 3 inches, and then you're going to score it from tip to tip diagonal, and that's going to leave you with a square that is 3 inches. So your designer series paper that you're going to use in this one is 2 7/8. If you wanted to go a little smaller than this and have a little bit more room on each side, then here's a 5.5 by 5.5. Again, the half point is your 2 3/4. So you're going to score it at 2 3/4 there, 2 3/4 on this side. That gives you a 2 3/4 square. So the designer series paper that you're going to use on this one is 2 5/8. This one to me was too small. The 6x6 was too big. So we went with right in the middle, like the Goldilocks story, and did 5 3/4. So hopefully that makes sense. But we're just going to take our little triangles now that we have, and we're going to put some adhesive and then lay these in our triangles. And again, it does not give you much of a border at all. Just a little bitty 1/16 of an inch border. So there's not much white peeking around the edges. But I love the Calypso Coral. I love the Petal Pink. And this paper, Lovely and Beautiful, is exactly that. It is lovely, it is beautiful, and it will make any type of feminine card amazing. So if you don't need a Mother's Day, if you just need a friend card or a card for your sister, you know, any of those wonderful women out there that we are celebrating this coming month, this card would be perfect. I hope you guys have enjoyed my Mother's Days series. Again, I cannot believe that April has come and gone so fast. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for opening my pool and getting in the pool, and I love the summer, so I'm excited for it. But then again, it's bittersweet. Okay, so there we have the middle part of our card, and we're gonna fold it up like this, like our little Pac-Man that we talked about. And this is where the magic happens. Now you do want some good adhesive on this. So whether it be your green capped mono Tombow adhesive glue, you can use that. It does give you some wiggle room to get it on there nice and straight, so that's not a bad idea. You also have your tear and tape. So whatever you want to use will work just fine. I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with my tear and tape. You know me, I'm not much of a liquid adhesive kind of girl. It's sticky, it's messy. Me and it we just don't jive very well together. So the only thing is the tear and tape, once you put it down, there's no wiggle room. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting it where you want it. So put some on that side and put some, flip it over, put some on this side. These are the sides that have not been scored. So your flat square sides, not the triangle sides. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll show you here in just a second what I'm saying. One more piece. The reason why you want to make sure that this is down well is people are going to be opening and closing this card a gajillion million times because it's so fun and interactive. They're going to do this constantly with it because it's addicting. So you want to make sure that these two sides are staying down. So again, you want to put your adhesive on the square side and not the sides that have the score line with the triangles. That's going to be your top, this is going to be your bottom, and these two are going to be your side pieces. So the next thing that you need to think about, and there's more than one way to skin a cat, do you want your card to sit up? Do you want them to be able, when you send this card, to display it? If so, you want to make sure that this pop-up mechanism, this explosion part, is on the top part of your card and not down here on the bottom. Because if this was in the middle and this hung down here, it's not going to sit up. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Because if this is hanging past this card line, it's not going to sit up straight. So that's the second thing. That's the reason why I've got mine up on the top part. When you're putting this down, you just want to make sure that these 2 points don't go past the top of your card. Because then it's not going to fit in your envelope. It's not going to look pretty on your card. So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool, and we are going to just take off one side, one of these, the strips, the on your little tear tape, the covers. Okay, and we're going to pull back in this card because this is the card that we're working on. So what we want to do, and again, I'm going to get an eagle view on this. I'm going to stand up over it so that I can make sure I'm lining this up. You want this point to go almost to the middle part of your card. And then again, you don't want the little tip to go past the top of your card. So I'm going to make sure that I've got my grid paper on here, because I'm going to use these lines to line it up. And I'm going to put my little tip, my little point close to the top. And I'm going to scooch this all the way over right beside that fold line. And then I'm going to press down. And you can go ahead, because I haven't torn this tear tape off, you can go ahead and open it up. Take your bone folder if you want. And rub that in really good. Okay. We're going to close it back up. We're going to take the covers off of these pieces of tear and tape. And then all we're going to do is fold this over and push. Hi Lisa, how are you? I don't know how long you've been watching. For some reason, your comments are not showing up on my live chat. So I apologize if you've been watching forever and I'm just now seeing. I'm just now being able to look over top of my phone. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. But there you go. And again, you can just kind of, just to reinforce it. But that is your card. And then it can sit up like that so that they can have it on display. But you can create a Mother's Day. You can create, you know, a friend card. Any beautiful card for any special women in your life for the month of May so that we can celebrate them. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Next week, I will probably do the Lakeside Retreat Kit. I can't show you the catalog yet because it still won't be May 5th, but it will be time to celebrate all those wonderful men in our life. And I think this April Paper Pumpkin Lakeside Retreat Kit does just that. So we'll put that together. The cards are really cute, really fun. So come back next week. Not sure if it'll be Saturday or Sunday, so stay tuned to my Facebook page and I'll be announcing that either Wednesday or Thursday. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's card, and I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of the weekend. Take care. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Bye-bye.